everybody, welcome to Week in Review on a Dice Tower. This is where we take a look back at the videos that we've done this past week, and we give you short snippets of our thoughts on each of those. And if you're like, wow, I want to learn more about that, links in the description so you can see the full review. Here we go.
Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. Happy New Year to you all. Last week I did my next 20 games of the year, so my top 30 through 11 games of 2016. Check that out. I did a few reviews as well. I reviewed Micro World, a two-player game of area control with a virus versus antibody theme. And it's got a cool theme. It's got a very colorful look to it. But the gameplay itself, the choices you are allowed from turn to turn, are pretty limited. And so I was just lukewarm on it. It's all right. It's just not great. I reviewed Karmika, a card-driven game with another very cool theme of resurrection and attempting to achieve enlightenment. And it's got card play that is very clever, very different. That theme is utilized in an interesting way, and so I found it to be cool. It's got some take that in it, so I would say beware if you don't like that. But if you want an interesting card game with a different theme, some new stuff, I'd say check that one out. Peter and the Grown-Ups is a bluffing game a la Coup or Masquerade, things like that. And this one is a little bit bigger than those games, and I like it a little bit more. The bluffing in this is not as straightforward, and I like that there's a little more to go on whether you call someone out on their lying to you or not. You know, I liked it. I would say if you enjoy bluffing, definitely look into it. Really nice artwork too. Peter and the Grown-Ups. And then lastly, Watson and Holmes from the Diaries of 221B is a deduction game. It's one in which you are attempting to put together a puzzle, you know, Sherlock Holmes style, moving around certain locations, trying to gather up clues, take some notes, and then figure out the whodunit and how and so on. It's very cool. It's sort of case-driven. There are, a handful of cases in the box, and it's very different. It's going to appeal to a very specific crowd, but those folks, I think, are going to love it. I certainly very much enjoy it. It's one that's in my collection, and so I would say look into that one. And that's it for me. I will see you all next time.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Week in Review. I did 5 videos this week, and one of them was Throat Punch Lunch. Was able to put together a pretty cool lineup of segment contributors this week for a great little Happy Holidays version of Throat Punch Lunch. Not over the top holiday version thingy, but it's still fun nonetheless. Go ahead and check that out. Also did 2 top whatever videos. I did a top 5 conventions from the year of 2016, so go ahead and check that one out. I think it's provides a little bit of insight there on what conventions I thought were good and what weren't. Also did a top 10 hopes for 2017. Not games specifically, but gaming related type stuff that's for the year. We're probably going to be doing another top 10 games that we're looking forward to here in the near future, but this one was just kind of a more personalized list of things that I'm looking forward to in the new year, so check that out. And then I did 2 reviews for you as well. One for a game called Hold the Line, The American Revolution. It's a re-implementation of a 2008 game called Hold the Line that just used cardboard counters for your units. This has miniatures. It's co-published by Worthington Publishing and PSC Games. So go check out that review for my thoughts on that game. And then I also did another game called V Commandos, a brand new game by a brand new publisher called Triton Noir. And it's a stealthy World War II game that is not all about going up and shooting everything up, but you need to sneak around and not be seen, not be heard, accomplish your objective, and then get out. It's a really cool, stealthy, cooperative World War II game. So go check that one out as well. And that's it for me. We'll see you guys on the flip side.
Kenny from Epic Gaming Night, and this week I took a look at a few different games. The first one is Journey to Mordor. This is a Lord of the Rings dice game where you're pressing your luck trying to get the Fellowship to Mordor before the Nazgul catch them. You're all playing, trying to get to Mordor first. Whoever gets there wins the game. Make sure to check out the review for that. Also, I took a look at the expansion for the Arkham Horror the card game. This is the standalone print-on-demand expansion, Curse of the Rougarou. Very interesting expansion. action, lots of theme. I love the Arkham Horror card game, so make sure to check out that review to see if that's something that you'd be interested in. And also, we did Favorite Game Friday again this week. This week, we're looking at cooperative games. There's so many amazing cooperative board games. Make sure to check out our Favorite Game Friday to see what all cooperative board games my contributors are excited about. So that was my week in review. See you next time.
Hey everyone, I'm Jason Peacock. This week I took a look at Conan, and I love it. It's one of my favorite games. It's a one versus many game, and you play in these predetermined scenarios. It's got such a brilliant mechanic with your life points being your action points that you can spend on attacks, extra movement, save some for defense. It's up to the players how they want to spend it, what order they want to spend it. So I am just in love with this. It's a wonderful production. Check out my review and find out why I think so highly of this. Thanks, everyone.
So first up, we have Clonk, not Clank. It's a different game, Clonk, in which you are going into a mine, bunch of dwarves mining and finding things, and it's a bunch of like a card matching, almost like an Uno matching thing where you're putting down cards, but there's really not a lot of strategy to it. It's just kind of the game plays you in a sense, so pass for me. Then we have Flamme Rouge. This is a game that a lot of people really love, this bicycle racing game. I am very much a minority here, so certainly look at other people's reviews of this. I just found it to be, as you moved your position around in a racing thing and playing cards, it's an interesting concept, and it works. It just felt not very exciting for me. So again, take my review with a grain of salt. Sold Out, this is a game for kids where they're running around the room looking for different articles of clothing so that they can find their shopping list. Very silly, very much for kids. Not a lot of people are going to run around the room finding things, but the kids I played it with really enjoyed it. Pipework, this is more of a puzzle than a game. In fact, you can just play it solitaire and do puzzles. Some really cool components, although they don't fit in a box the way that they should, but just a neat concept of connecting pipes is very similar to an app for your devices. We have Undercover. Undercover is a game in which you're moving spies. It actually has a very strong memory element to it as you're looking at spies and putting them in different places. It's kind of a wonky game in a sense because you're trying to score points as you move these. It's hard to explain. You got to watch the full review, but it was enjoyable. Emojito, this is a game in which you are making emotions. There's a lot of games of this category where you do something, everyone's trying to guess what you're doing, but this time you're either showing the emotion on your face or making a sound that expresses that emotion. Wonderful artwork, certainly elevates this up to be a fun party game. Kilt Castle, theme in this one's very thin. You're building castles on top of other people's castles. All right, whatever. But it's a really interesting, very involved take that abstract strategy game as you're moving around the board, putting your castle on top of other people's, so you're trying to score different areas. Very intriguing with a little bit of an economic system in it. Rock, Paper, Wizard. I thought this game was going to be awful here, but Rock, Paper, Wizard. It's a take that game. It's point fingers in weird ways at other people's games. It's loosely based on Dungeons and Dragons. But I liked it. It was entertaining. It was fun. It added an element to Rock, Paper, Scissors. I thought that really helped out a lot. Dale of Merchants 2, basically the same as Dale of Merchants. Mixing them together gives you more options. I really like the whole combo. It's a fun deck building game. Then we have Mino and Tori. This game is super unique where there's two magnet pieces on each side and you're navigating a maze together. It teaches kids to communicate and be cooperative, talking to each other as they try to solve a puzzle as fast as they can. Really great idea. It's a gimmick, but it's a good one. Burke's Gambit looks like nothing. Very interesting. It's another social deduction game, but it's a really cool one. One person has infected by a parasite, but people are also on two different factions, so there's like two levels, trying to figure out who has the parasite and either get them off the ship or keep them on the ship. Really was a lot of fun. The new second expansion for Dice City adds more gold. It's actually better than the first expansion because it adds pretty much everything the first expansion does and some more cards. It's essentially more stuff. Then the 30th anniversary edition of Liar's Dice. Liar's Dice is a fantastic game, and other than the box, I like this one a lot too. Very bright, cool cups, cool dice, and it's a great game everyone should have. And then finally, Gooseberry. You may have skipped this review as the week went by because it doesn't sound like anything, but this game is really fun. It's very similar to Spyfall, which is why I like it. As you're trying to figure out exactly who the Gooseberry is, it kind of mixes Spyfall with a little bit of Password in a sense. Very neat. Hopefully someone else picks it up and does a nicer production of it. And those are our reviews that we did last week. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell, and this has been Week in Review.